Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm Lacey,
Yes.
and you're listening to From the Gate podcast. And tonight we're talking about new beginnings.
Hey. Here we are. What you talking about, Willis?
From the Gate. I know everybody is thinking,
wait a minute, who are you?
Well,
WTF? What the From the Gate?
Well, just like
we should make a shirt like that. WTF? What the From the Gate?
Just like the way it sounds is the way I say it. I mean, we had several names that we were going to go with, but I just felt like From the Gate was just right because we had like hella names, and then I think we wrote down like 10, and then we went down to 5 and blah.
I think we had more than that. I think we had like at least 15 to 20 names. Yeah, you're right. And then we just did process of elimination. Be like, sorry, sir, you did not make the cut. You are the X Factor.
Denied.
Well, yeah, a lot of other names stood out too, I felt, but like I was just trying
How'd
to
you feel about Left Hook?
It could have been Left Hook too. It could have been Right Hook. It could have been any hook.
Left, do it right.
I mean, for me, I just felt like it had to be something that was authentic and something that we could relate to.
Yeah, and we both wanted it to be something that meant something. It wasn't just like some random title that we came up with.
Because From the Gate just meaning like from the beginning.
Yep, from the start.
From
the jump.
From the jump. Growing up in Los Angeles, California, Inglewood, you just use those terms. You know, everything doesn't have to be like at first,
technical. Yeah, I was being very technical. Like mine were always just like the typical.
Well, because I think you didn't understand like why FOR or FROM or THY. Because like you can be serious and then also just kind of be funky. I like to use the term funky.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, duh.
Like Funkalicious.
Tatalicious.
Not the Tatas.
Anyways, so I just felt like growing up in the inner city, that was the term we always used. We always used From the Jump too, but I think more so for me it was like From the Gate.
And the reason why we chose From the Gate was because a lot of it had to do with us wanting to tell people's origin stories, like where they come from, mostly for our families. So that way we were able to share our parents' stories, share our grandparents' stories, share our aunties and uncles' stories about where they came from, how they started, people that we meet on the street, people that we come across in our daily lives, and just kind of hear about, because everyone has an origin story. Everybody has a story about how they came up and what they're doing now and how all the lessons that they learned from then until now have helped them become the person that they are.
Right.
And a lot of the stories that we don't ever really get to hear, they're so inspirational. And that's what the purpose for this podcast is to be an inspiration for future generations.
We chose From the Gate because it just made more sense. Also with our clothing brand too, Inceptum.
Yep.
Just to relate to, from the beginning. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not that kind of a serious type person, but I just feel like everything kind of has to be aligned to where it all just coexist, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It all fits into one another because the word inceptum comes from the Latin word, which is Latin is a lost language now.
How do you spell that again?
The original word is INCEPTUM.
But we said we were going to go with
NCEPTUM. But yeah, so the word inceptum is beginning, from the inception. That's where the word inception comes from, is from that Latin word inceptum. Everything has a start. A lot of times you hear that phrase, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But your start has a lot to do with your finish.
Whatever that means. So from there, we were in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Mm-hmm.
And I met Lucy at some Latino club in downtown. My dude, twin, Pete Dog, you know who he is. Shout out to my guy. Him and the little broski AMI. I'm glad that I called them because I wasn't planning on going on anywhere that night. I was like, hell yeah. Shout out to my dog. They love doing some security at a club. What I mean by that, because, they love the ladies. Bruh.
That's the best one. When we met, we just had a lot of similarities in terms of what we both wanted to do, what we wanted to see happen. Seth talked about wanting to do a podcast, and I was like, oh, I worked in radio. People kept telling both of us, oh, you guys, well, not the same people, just different people would tell us, you guys should start a podcast. And so here we are.
Here we are.
And so when we started this whole thing, when we were trying to figure out a name and choose a name, I kept putting From the Gate, like THE. And Seth was like, nah, man, you gotta be hood with it. You gotta be street with it. It's like, Well, the last time I checked, not jokes.
No, because like I mean, it just
because From the Gate is an actual like street term.
You ain't gotta like from like THE, like you ain't reading a novel. I mean, you gotta have a little bit of you gotta put a little twist or have some edge with it. Is the way I always. Yeah, I'm glad we chose what we went with. I always look at it.
How is From the Gate connected to the Bay Area?
Just coming from the Rock, my great-grandfather and his 9 children. It's children, but it's children.
Oh, yes. We must know it. But they came through San Francisco, and there's a lot of people that actually like have come through the Bay. Did California start out here in the Bay, like with the 49ers and like the gold rush and everything? Because that's what brought people to California initially, right? Was the gold rush?
Originally, yes. That's where the 49er... Because this was a big place, because all this was like water in those days.
Yeah.
How the 49ers came about, it was a gold rush, and I think there still is, but yeah, half of my family came through here.
And there's so many people that have like their beginnings in this area, and it's so crazy
specifically for Tongans and Samoans or any Polynesian origin.
Because they're fresh off the plane. No, it's not the boat, it's the plane.
Yeah.
This is when they started to be able to fly to America.
I believe I can fly.
I was a grandchild that went around with my grandmother, which is my dad's mother, Melviola.
Mm-hmm.
One and only, triple OG. No. She passed us back a few years back. As a kid, I just asked her a bunch of questions.
We came from the 801 out here to the 510, and it's been an interesting transition. Like there's a lot of things that are different out here versus being out in Utah or out in SoCal or out in Samoa. So what are some of the major differences that you've noticed?
It rains a lot more. It rains a lot more.
I thought I knew bipolar weather until we moved out here, and it's like bipolar weather is a joke everywhere else.
I see that everyone here is kind of like all races are like in one, in a way. I think when we first got here, we were in Richmond. Shout out to the city of Richmond. That's where we first stayed, right?
Yeah, that was like the first place we stayed, was in Richmond.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between... Everyone here is kind of like they keep a tight niche. Let's just put it that way. So I think that's what the Bay is.
And we've been all over.
Pretty much from San Ho to Oakland, San Francisco, East Bay, West, South, North.
For real, we've been all over the Bay.
Yeah.
All the way to Novato.
All the way to Sacktown.
Sacktown's not part of the Bay, though.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Absolutely. Yes, they're part of the Bay. Sacramento's definitely part of the Bay. Sacramento, the Fairfield,
Vacayville.
Just everywhere, like
Stockton,
Antioch, everywhere here in the Bay. But I'm glad we did that.
What's that place that's like way back in the boonies, Rio Vista? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's kind of in the cut.
Yep.
Or it's like in the middle.
In the country, yeah.
It's been quite a journey, and I would have never done it any different. A lot of challenges and a lot of back and forth, maybe discussions and debates and he say, she say. But I don't think I would have never done it differently with my girl, Lacey Boo Boo. Lacey Cuss.
Oh, thank you, Ceci.
I got you, fam.
We met in Utah. Utah was good to us, but when it came time to go, came time to go. There's a lot of things that happened that just transpired and went down, but we did it.
We are here. What was your New Year's resolution this year starting?
My New Year's resolution. I didn't have a New Year's resolution this year, actually.
No?
No, I had like New Year's goals. Like I had like things that I wanted to see happen in 2024. I mean, yeah, I guess there's like the typical January. Everybody either wants to lose weight or eat better or pay attention to their mental health or but for me, I did want to lose weight because I didn't end the I didn't end last year on a healthy note for the most part. And I do feel like when you are good to your body, then your body is good to you.
Facts.
Well, my top priority was to launch this podcast.
And we did it. We got the licensing.
Let's go.
Put it out on all platforms. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on iHeartRadio.
The merch will be coming out pretty soon. Still working on that, but so far, so good.
And so right
What does
now
that
I'm
mean?
learning about e-commerce and the world of e-commerce and just everything behind it, like from all these print on demand things. Like I've never thought of it, never experienced it. Like it's something that's completely new and it's exciting for me. And I'm enjoying being able to unleash my creative side once again.
Alicia is pretty good at using those little fingers and typing and
Pretending to do work on the computer.
I mean that in a good way, but
And then my goal is to actually launch our Shopify store so people can start buying our merch and so we can start actually wearing the stuff that we design. I'm not gonna lie, we've got some pretty sick stuff that's about to come out, like that we're about to drop. Like it's good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And the stuff that we're creating, it has stories behind it. The clothing that we've designed, the reason why I love it so much is because they have stories behind it, which connects to what we're doing on From the Gate in so many ways, because that's what From the Gate is.
Right, yeah.
So those are my top 3 goals for 2024. What are yours, Sess?
Mine is, I've always, maybe the last, I'll say maybe 10 years, I've always just tried to change something to better myself with it. It's, I've been reading a lot more. I mean, just growing up, I had a hard time with reading, but I'm addicted now.
Which is good. I love that you are.
I'm always reading. And I was never a reader. I just pretend like you look at the receipt and like now I'm
Surprise, motherfucker.
Look at everything.
So, and as an adult, I just feel like, those are things that you just have to do and learn. But
I like your cut, G.
yeah, those were one of my things of changing, because my parents have always like made a big thing of like, what was our New Year's resolution? I think that was like one of the biggest ones for me, was to read. And I've always wanted to read, but now like I actually have been reading. I am on since 2022 of December till right now, I probably read about maybe 40 books.
That's really good.
From fitness to sales to self-development or, creating, you name it. Just to kind of get an understanding, because like Lee said earlier, I actually came out here first to the Bay because I had a job. Just a little quick rewind is that like I was in LA and we'll talk about this later, but I moved from LA temporarily from LA to Salt Lake City, which was only supposed to be a temporary stay, ended up being all the way till 2023 of, what was it, August, September? Anyways, fast forward, long story short, and here we are in the Bay.
Yeah.
I did tell everyone I was only going to be there for a little time, and I did. And here we are in 2024. We're here in the Bay, California.
Hey.
Yara. Shout out to the Bay Area for looking out. I love this place. I really do. Although times are very challenging, but it's not so different from LA. You think everyone here is just different. I see why the Bay is the Bay, even though the 49ers lost the Super Bowl. But
Dang, don't even speak on that.
we'll talk about that later. And I just feel like, everything has a purpose and a reason. And you can get a lot done if you put your mind to it and
Yeah,
you believe in it.
I agree.
Me and Lise just started middle of 2023 of last year. So, and here we are. Like we sat in her big ass room, but thank God for that too, though. Yeah, I mean, for me, it was always good to just visit.
Yeah.
So when I leaving LA going to Salt Lake, everyone thought like friends and family was like, bruh, you one of us now. And I was like, okay, keep telling yourself that. Because like I always felt like when you go with the mindset and you believe in what you're doing and having the experience that I do have,
Yeah.
being a grown ass man, like, you gotta make moves. I stuck by that. So
So what are your three goals? So I know you said one was to read more, which you did a lot in 2023.
uh
So what are your top three?
is to listen more and to give back.
Mm,
Those are my three main goals because I feel like if you add, for me to say, is like if you add those three things, I mean, reading, you could always like grow from reading because the more you know, like the better off you'll be.
the more you know, the more you grow.
Just my little experience that I had leaving LA to Salt Lake, although I've been to Salt Lake millions of times because that's where all my
Your family's
family's at,
from,
but
yeah.
I've never really lived there in my adult years. I mean, the last time I was there was when I was a teenager. I was probably like 12. And I also went to the U back in 97 to '02. Football didn't work out. I don't know. I don't want to get in all into that, but anyway, we can talk about that later. But
Yeah. No, but I do feel like you were very resilient. Like that was another quality that I admired in you, very much so, was your resilience. Like your ability to push forward even though the odds were against you. And so,
thank you, thank you, thank you.
you're
Thank you,
welcome, you're
thank
welcome,
you.
you're welcome. Elvis has left the building.
But yeah. So, anyways, I just feel like those were like my three main goals for 2024 is to listen more because I'm hard headed, and that was another thing that I lacked on was listening. So reading, listening, and giving back. What I mean by giving back is, if you just happen to see something as, you know, I know it's hard to stay positive most of the times, but if you have a good heart and you mean well at the end of the day, if you see somebody, buy them a meal. Here in the Bay, which is probably big everywhere, but like the homeless here is like
Oh, it's
crazy.
huge, yeah.
So wherever we are, it doesn't even matter. Like I always just try to, not only that, but like if you're at a red light, somebody cut you off,
Mm-hmm.
just little things like that. Because normally they stick the front finger at you and then you stick your finger back and
And
then
it's a
you
whole thing.
and then that little thing turns into something. But anyways, just learning how to,
I am grateful that we have had no fender benders.
right? Oh no. But yeah, those were my three New Year's resolutions for 2024.
Nice. What's something you're looking forward to in 2024?
Growth, growth with our business from the gate. Growth with And all this stuff that I'm learning now, it's just, I've always wanted to do this. I really have, like, trying to be a better human being overall.
Yeah, as we all should be.
Because if you come where I come from, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm the hardest person in the world, because I'm not. But what I mean by that is just trying to be a better person in all areas.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, so on and so on.
I'm waiting for you to ask me a question.
I am, but you keep taking over with that annoying ass laugh.
Wow, leave my laugh alone, sir.
What is it?
I need to like switch to my Miss laugh. My
No, you're fine. I'm just kidding. What is some of your goals?
You know, I had to change my laugh when I was Miss.
Really?
Yeah,
Miss?
because I couldn't laugh like akasasai like I normally do, like which is like that really loud laugh that I normally laugh, like my natural laugh. So then I had to like make up a small feminine dainty laugh to laugh when in public. It makes sense, I know, because of the title, but yeah. Anyways,
Before I forget, sorry to cut you off. Shout out to Sacramento. Shout out to my
Uncle Nasty,
Big Shamu, aka, and my auntie and my cousin
Viola.
Ramu Jr. Because they were also a big help for
us getting started here. Absolutely.
So, just to FYI, everybody, me and Lisa are friends. Just if you're like, dang, I wonder if they're together. We're friends. With benefits? No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Anyways, shout out to Sacktown because Big Unks was a great big help in the beginning and in the middle. Good thing he has patience. Shout out to Sacramento.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. I'm Lisi.
Sis.
And keep it posted over here. Follow us, like us, subscribe to us.
We got a lot more coming, trust me.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Deuces.